you're new to the channel, welcome in. Please like and subscribe. I am on the border of Idaho and Wyoming, and I'm climbing up Teton Pass. And we're going to go to the Grande Tetons. Le Grand Teton en français. We're having to do some major climbing here with the van on steep corners. I don't know how high the Teton Pass is. Maybe there'll be a sign at the top. We'll see. We're on the downhill side now from the pass, but it's very tight turns. It was very steep coming up. This pass is beautiful though. The countryside is amazing. I was inspired to come back and check out the Grande Tetons based on a recent video that I saw on Christian Schaefer's channel. She is an outstanding outdoor photographer. If you get a chance, check out her channel and see the photography of the many places she's visited in her van. Check out this valley, folks. You're basically looking down into the Jackson Hole area right now. Okay, we are entering the Grande Teton National Park. They sure are beautiful. It's so beautiful. Well, now I can see why there was elk tracks and an elk trail, because it goes up to this watering hole filled with lily pads, almost perfectly round. And more evidence of the elk, being that it's September and it's the elk rut, the elk breeding season. Here's a signpost from probably one of the mature bulls in the group, and this is what they do when their testosterone is on the increase. They start tearing the bark off trees with their antlers. So that was fun. I know that the GoPro wouldn't catch it, but I got within 35 yards of several cows and a bull. And I don't know if you heard him bugling, but this is their little lair where I came through. I couldn't see how big the antlers were on the bull, And the reason that they took off is not because they heard me coming. They're used to hearing noise. I felt the wind at my back, so it blew my scent down to them. So they took off, but you know, you can tell that this is the lair for that bull. Look at all these trees he's marked. There's one there. And there's another one up here. If I had good equipment, like I always say, he's still bugling. He's still inquisitive. The reason you hear me making that little whistle sound is I'm trying to imitate a small cow. There's a meadow and a watering hole down here. Let's go check it out. There's still a lot of elk in here, but I did spook off a good chunk of them. And I heard the bull getting further and further away, bugling, taking his cows with him. Well, let's go down here. I've been hiking up this real steep finger that goes right up to the base of the mountains. And on the very top of this finger ridge is a game trail that the elk have been using for years. And you can see how dug up it is. But it's not a human trail, and there's no human tracks on here. Just elk tracks. And what I'm trying to do is break out of the timber to get some shots of the base of the mountain before it gets too dark to shoot it. It's been a pretty long, probably a mile so far on this finger. And hopefully we get to the top here and break out of the timber and we'll see the mountain. last night I stayed in the park till well after dark. I climbed up a long finger up into the base of the mountain through the pines, and there were probably, I don't know, 6, 7 bull elk spread out across the hillside, bugling their heads off. And of course, it's the elk rut in the month of September, the breeding period. And boy, were they vocal last night. It was cool. I wish I could have had the kind of sound equipment to record it, because it was an amazing, amazing sound. It was a beautiful morning with the sun hitting the top of the Tetons with the full moon overhead. If I had had, good camera equipment, it would have made for some beautiful pictures. Anyway, today I'm heading south, and I'm going to go through countryside in Wyoming that I've never seen before. Hey, guess what time it is? It's peanut butter and jelly time. Yoo-hoo! Okay, let's have a little breakfast. Here in the Grande Tetons. And then we're driving south through the beautiful state of Wyoming. '89 South, I believe it is. I've never been there. The peanut butter is stiff. It was cold last night. I camped in the national forest, not far from the national park. And the only problem with it was, although they said there was dispersed camping, it really wasn't dispersed camping. You could only camp in designated areas, and the designated areas were all packed in right next to each other. And so it wasn't very private. But you know what? It was pretty quiet last night. There was only one car that came in late that they were talking and gabbing away as they set up their tent. Other than that, it was quiet, and it was a beautiful morning. I was able to take some nice morning shots of the Grande Tetons with the full moon above.